guys, welcome back to the Tomato Blues kitchen, both virtually and literally. This is my kitchen and I thought I would pop in with my face, say a quick hello and talk about today's video here today. So today we are going to talk about weekly meal planning. If there's one question that people ask me most frequently after seeing my Instagram stories, it's got to be this. Ma'am, how do you cook so much? Let me be very honest with you, it's really no big deal. If I'm not wrong, I think our mothers and our grandmothers did it day in and day out without cribbing much. Yes, there's one thing, they all had a lot of support, and I think that is what we all lack in this current situation. So this is going to be a guide for people who literally struggle every day to manage their meals better. A couple of months ago, when Vidya of Vidya's Vegetarian Kitchen and me did an Instagram live session exclusively talking about weekly meal prepping and planning, we had an influx of messages in our DMs asking us and requesting us to post more videos and more information on how we go about our weekly meal prepping and meal planning. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's show what we do actually to make our week go smoothly and easier. So what I essentially do is I start my prepping on Saturday evening. Sometimes I go shop the veggies on Saturday mornings in the market because generally veggies are fresher in the morning in our market. And then I come back and I clean them up and I just let them be and do the whole prepping part on Sunday. I also do a couple of other things on Sunday which I'll show you all in this video. This video is basically a compilation of what I did over the last 3 Sundays. So I don't have a set format that I do on Sundays. It's more like I do whatever I want to do according to the content that I also want to create for YouTube and also the meals that I want to cook for my family. So it's like a mix of both. And to be very honest, you people don't see all that I cook on Instagram, and not all that I cook for my family goes to YouTube as well. So I'll be sharing a dedicated weekly meal plan that I put up or that I wrote up for this week. That will be available as a free printable in the description box. I'll also be including recipe links for all those recipes that I have included in the meal plan. So you can go check them out. Not all of them are video links. Some of them are links that point to my website, tomatoblues.com. So you guys can go and check it out over there. So now come on, I'll walk you through my weekly meal prepping which is done on the weekend. Come on guys, let's get started.
First things first, if you're looking at doing meal planning for a long way, then I suggest that you invest in good quality storage containers. As you all know, I'm not very comfortable in using plastic boxes for storing my food. So I prefer stainless steel or glass. So these are all what I have for meal prepping. And I even use these for storing leftovers also. So all my glass containers, like most of them are in the fridge. They're all occupied with different foods. So which is why I was not able to show you my entire collection. But yeah, this is what I have. So a few of them were bought on Amazon online, and a few of them were bought in shops back in India. So this is how my collection looks like. I use these boxes mainly to store cut veggies and fruits. That is all the stainless steel boxes that you see. Mainly the rectangle ones and the ones over here with the blue lid, the circle ones with the blue lid. I use all these for storing cut veggies and fruits. Ideally, I use the round ones for storing fruits, and the rectangle ones I use for storing veggies. The glass ones I use for green chilies, coriander leaves, and curry leaves. I also store cut ginger in glass ones, or sometimes I grate my ginger and I store it in a glass container in a separate shelf in the fridge. So these were bought from Amazon India. I think these are available everywhere now. The only thing I really do not like about these boxes is the plastic lid. I really wish they make more stainless steel square containers. The reason why I prefer rectangle or square containers in my kitchen is because it is easy to stack them. It does not occupy odd spaces. So all the nooks and crannies also get filled, and it looks very uniform and neat. So my preference is always for a square container. Now the other shapes of containers that you see are all gifts from my mom. The 2 round boxes that you see at the far left is a puri container, And that's about it. These are my boxes for storing. So before I begin any kind of a shopping or meal prepping for the weekend, what I do is I plan my idli and dosa requirements for the week. So this week I'm going to be making one millet based idli and dosa and the regular idli and dosa batter. The regular idli and dosa batter is a staple at our home because it's like anytime anybody is hungry, there's always dosa batter to the rescue. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be soaking all the things that we would be needing to grind our batter. Next, I am going to be soaking all the legumes that we will be consuming over the week. So for this week, I have chosen chana, matki, that is moth beans, and horse gram, which is kulit or kollu in Tamil. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be washing all of this thoroughly 2 or 3 times in running water. Then I will be soaking them for 8 hours outside at room temperature. Once they are hydrated, I'm going to drain all the water and I'm going to put them back in the fridge. Now, generally, I do not tend to put water if I'm going to put them back in the fridge in the containers because they tend to stink. If in case you do want to put the water while you keep it in the fridge, then make sure that you change this water at least 1 day or 2 days once. Otherwise, they tend to give out a smell. Now, this is how our soaked stuff is sitting in the kitchen counter. Now come on, let's go and do some shopping. I'm going to show you all where I shop. This is basically a supermarket near my house. This is called Fair Price. So I'm going to be doing some basic shopping today. There's one more thing I would like to tell here. Many people, especially Indians living in Singapore, we think that we do not get Indian stuff in places like Fair Price. This is not true. These days, Fair Price stocks so many Indian stuff which you can buy very easily. So do consider Fair Price for your grocery shopping in case you're going. Again, this is not a brand endorsement. I'm just telling you my experience. So I'm also showing you a quick tour of how our supermarket looks like. This is quite a huge supermarket, so I'm not actually doing a detailed tour, but I'm just walking you through to all the sections where I just went by. So I'm basically stocking up fruits for the week. If you can, I think you guys would have figured it out by now. So these are all the varieties of apples, oranges, and then previously I think you guys saw some berries. And this is the fresh veggies or the crisper compartment. This is the local bitter gourd. They call this the bitter melon here, and this is not actually so bitter like the Indian bitter gourd. It's very mildly bitter. And then next, I'm going to be taking up some spring onion. I simply love the flavor of spring onion that you find in Singapore. In fact, this flavor is what became the inspiration for my spring onion pulao. You can find the recipe in my channel. Now, this is the bakery section where they have an assortment of breads. What I really love about this section is they even have sourdough breads. Yes, it's commercial bread, but it's still good. It's good as a breakfast option when you're in a rush. So, this is our favorite now. It's a country loaf with savory turmeric and corn. This again is the local condiment section, and I simply love that sesame oil which they have. It's the oomph factor adding thing in all the sesame oil requiring dishes. These are again, the local condiments that they use here. There's a lot of chili, garlic, and you can even find sauces like rendang and ikan bili and stuff like that. So this is what they have in the local section. You can see that there's an assortment of curry pastes and ready to eat masalas, and this is the pasta sauce section along with the tomato puree. This is the chiller section, and this is the most favorite section of mine because it has wonton wrappers, it's got tempeh, tofu, and pasteurized fresh noodles. So that's it, friends. I'm done shopping and I'm headed back home, and this is how the scene at home looks like. So for those of you who are wondering, I did my soaking late morning, like 11:30ish thereabouts, and then I headed out. By the time I came home, it was like 4 in the afternoon. I took a quite long time to finish my shopping. So these are all hydrated, they're all soaked and ready to be ground into a batter. I usually do my grinding uh, parallelly to my veggie prepping. So I bought all the veggies home, I washed them thoroughly, and I've spread it out on towels. This is something that I've always done. It's just not that I've started doing it during my pandemic. This has been a practice for a very long time in my house for now. So now come on, let's start chopping the veggies. Before I start chopping the veggies, let me also tell you, I also prepped my storage containers before I left for my shopping work. So now they're all washed and ready to be used. So now I'm chopping up veggies. What I essentially do when it comes to chopping up is I divide the veggies into two parts. One, I chop them for curries, and two, I chop them for Kurumbu. Similarly, if I'm making two different gravies, then I chop it however I need it for the gravy. For instance, baby corn, I chop it into roundels for pulao and into fingers for my sabzis and stuff like that. But today I'm just going to be making a pulao. So this week it's going to be pulao. So it's just roundels like this. I think I'll also be adding it to some kind of stir fries. Again, zucchini, like I said, I've chopped them into half slices and now I'm chopping them into fingers, if you can see. So all this will be used in this week. I'll also be telling you how I'm going to be using it because I'll be sharing the meal plan for this week at the end of this video. So keep watching till then. So again, like I said, I'm chopping up some bell peppers. So, I was talking about the eat it before you kill it rule. It's very simple. You start with the veggies that tend to, get spoiled first, and then you go on like that. So, basically, you eat all the green veggies in the beginning of the week, the root veggies towards the end of the week because they survive longer. The main thing that you have to remember here is in case you buy green leafy vegetables like spinach, then make sure that you finish them first or you chop them up nicely. Do not wash them before chopping or after chopping. Without washing, chop them up, put it in a Ziploc cover and keep it in your fridge. It will stay good for up to 3 days if there is no moisture in your keerai or your green leafy vegetables. So now I'm chopping the vendaka or the okra in two different ways. And while the chopping is going on parallelly, you can see that I'm also grinding my batter. So I've started with my urad dal. So it takes about 20 minutes for my urad dal to be ground. So in that time, I'm also chopping my okra or my lady's finger. So I'm chopping these into two different types. One, I'll be chopping them into diagonals and two, I'll be chopping them into fingers. The diagonals will be used for a sabzi and the fingers will be used for a Kurumbu. So now I have finished chopping all my veggies. You can see raw mango, baby corn, beans, avarakai chopped in two different ways, broccoli florets, drumstick, and this is the entire lot. My keerai is chopped too. And you can also spot drumstick and carrot which has been shredded and then cubed, and that's the vendaka. I've kept the other kind of vendaka in another box. You can spot that there. There's also bell pepper. I also tend to chop cucumber and keep it in a box because we tend to snack on cucumbers a lot in our house. This raw mango, you may wonder why so much of raw mango. I tend to add raw mango to almost all salads and sundal that I make. We love the crunch and tang it gives. So that's it. Now my rice is also done. My rice is also ground. So the ground urad dal batter is ready and the this thing is ready. This is my milk for the yogurt setting, and that's it. My prep work is done. So now let's get started on our weekly meal plan. One thing I would like to tell you all over here is if you're doing weekly meal plan or meal prepping on a weekend, keep your Sunday dinners very light and simple. Usually, I tend to rely heavily on curd rice or upma on Sundays for dinner because it's quick to make, less cleaning, and a lot of less tension. So this is just a tip that I'm sharing. It may differ from family to family. It works for me. So, coming back to my meal plan, you can see that I've sorted my meals into four categories: breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner across 7 days. My daughter usually prefers a light and easy to eat breakfast in the morning, so she tends to stick to eggs, which is why you see two different kinds of breakfast for us. There is one breakfast that gets done for my daughter, which is ready by 7 in the morning, and then after this, I tend to do breakfast for us. This is only because there's this work from home schedule thing going on now. If my husband is at work, then I tend to pack breakfast for him in the morning. So, again, lunch, I give her some easy finger foods kind of a thing that she can finish quickly because there's always a rush in the school to eat fast. And if you look at the snack, then you can see that I have included all our chana and Pattani, that is peas, and matki and kollu, and everything is included. You may all be wondering why I also bought broccoli. Okay, the broccoli thing goes into a lot of dishes like which use mixed vegetables like the Semiya Upma, or I have Poha lined up for the week later. So I'm going to be using broccoli in all these places. And like I said, I tend to use up the things that go spoiled very quickly in the first. So that is why you see Gobi Makhani and bell pepper for the first day, because it was left over from the last week. And then you see Avarakai, Vendakai, and Keerai, that is broad beans, okra, and Keerai, that is spinach, in on Tuesday's lunch, because they all tend to get spoiled very quickly. Again, you can also see that I have included a column for leftovers also, because I do not like to carry forward leftovers for too long. So I tend to clear my fridge of leftovers very quickly. I also tend to be very cautious about the quantity of food that I make. I believe in making fresh food every day. Again, if you go to Thursday, you can see that there's paneer paratha, yogurt, and pickle. So, ideally, I also do some kind of a prepping the day before. I'll talk about this in another video in detail very soon. But for now, this is how I draft my weekly meal plan. And like I said, there are three golden rules while you chart your weekly meal plan. A, eat it before you kill it. So, the order of perishability. Finish up all those things that will tend to go rotten at the first. And second, use all your root veggies towards the end. The second rule is, things will go wrong. You may not be able to stick to the schedule all the time. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. And the third golden rule is never chart your meal plan before you buy your veggies. Go to the market, see what is available, and plan all your meals around those veggies and fruits. Because you may plan on making gobi paratha, but you may not be able to find gobi that particular day. Then what happens? So it's always better to go to the market and see what is available, and then plan your meals according to whatever is available. You can also see in my meal plan that I always tend to include a lot of dishes which call for using multiple vegetables, like the wheat rava upma, or the bel puri, or the vegetable poha, or the Semiya Upma. So all this calls for multiple vegetables, which is why I always have carrot, beans, and potato, broccoli, not cauliflower, sorry. So carrot, beans, potato, peas, and broccoli are staples at my home. I always tend to have them because broccoli again is my daughter's favorite thing to eat. Even I like broccoli, so we tend to have all this in stock in our fridge almost all the time. Again, you can also see that there is peanut butter sandwich as a snack, and there is also chana as a snack for my daughter. So I just, pressure cook the chana with a little bit of salt, and I drain the water completely, and I send this chana as a snack for her. It also makes a very filling snack and healthy. So you can try this with your children. If your children are grown up, then you can add chaat masala and red chili powder along with the chana, and you can give it like a chaat. That also tastes amazing. So again, like you see, there are also a couple of columns which use stuff like yogurt and pickle. So this also calls for a little meal prep the day before, about which I will be talking in a different video separately. Now you will find all the recipes for these uh, items mentioned in the meal plan in the description box. Do check it out. There's also some other things that I do as a part of the weekly meal prepping, like prepping coconut for the week ahead, prepping tamarind for the week ahead. All this I will be sharing it in another video. Now let us go and have a look at our shopping and inventory list for the week. So this is how my shopping list for the week looks like. I categorize it into four: dry grocery, veggies, fruits, dairy, and eggs. So veggies, I just list a couple of veggies that we have not had the previous 10 days, and I tend to buy whatever I can from the list. Luckily, this time I was able to find all the things mentioned in the veggies list. There are some times when I do not find stuff so easily, so I just let them go. Again, onion, tomato, green chili, lemon, ginger, coriander, mint are staples. You will require it at any point of time throughout the week. So I suggest that you buy them, you clean them, and you store them correctly. I will be sharing tips for that also in the same video, in which I will be showing you how to prep the coconut and tamarind for the week. So that's it, my friends. This is how the shopping list looks like. So now let me show you all how our prep has paid off. That's the yogurt that was set, and this is the fermented dosa batter, and that's it. We are ready for the week, and that is filter coffee decoction. For all the recipes, please do check the description box. Thank you so much for watching, friends. We'll be back soon again with another recipe or a video like this. Till then, take care and bye bye.